After returning to the MLS to Vancouver Whitecaps to resurrect his footballing career, Jayden Nelson is on the move and has found a new club in Austin FC, a club where he looks to seek first team minutes, where he looks to seek a role in a starting 11 at one of the biggest sides in the MLS at Austin FC. And this is a move where Jayden Nelson looks to bolster his stock for the 2026 Canadian World Cup roster. But was this the right move for Jayden Nelson? Will he find a starting role in Austin FC's starting lineup? We're going to break it down, discuss the transfer details, as well as how Jayden Nelson could fit into this Austin FC side, and if this was the right club for Jayden Nelson. But before we jump into it, guys, make sure to hop into the comments. Let me know your thoughts on Jayden Nelson leaving Vancouver Whitecaps and joining Austin FC, and if they should have gotten more for Jayden Nelson. Smash that like button, hit that sub button, but let's jump straight into it. As it was first reported from Manuel Veth that this deal was on the cards, it was later reported from Tom Bogert, who broke down the trade compensation for Vancouver Whitecaps for the 23-year-old Canadian international. As Austin FC, of course, receives Jayden Nelson, Vancouver Whitecaps went on to receive $1.25 million in general allocation money and the 17th overall pick in the MLS Super Draft. It's a decent return for a winger who has completely resurrected his footballing career, broken back into the Canadian national team, has had appearances with Canada's national team, but has also turned into being a very good MLS player and a very impactful MLS winger. It is a great move for Austin FC, who gives up a very small price for a very good MLS player and a good attacker that they needed for their starting lineup. But is it the right position that they were seeking out for to replace a winger in Ousmane Boukari, who has left Austin FC this season? Well, Ousmane Boukari is a right winger, and what Austin FC typically play is the 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-3 system, with a left mid, a right mid, and of course, two wingers or attacking midfielders behind the striker. And this is a role where Ousmane Boukari took up that right wing slash attacking 10 role for Austin FC. But what you're getting from Jayden Nelson is a left winger slash left midfielder who brings you pace, quick dribbling ability, and fantastic defensive contributions and a great work rate through his squad. So you could try to switch him out to the right wing or to play at that 10 role. It is a change that Jayden Nelson can do. He is very interchangeable. He could probably make that switch to the right wing, and it wouldn't surprise me at all with his skill set and with his ability on the ball. Jayden Nelson could probably make the switch to right midfield or right winger. But he is a talented left winger. He's a talented left midfielder. And what he has done for Canada when he's had the opportunity is play at left midfield. And his ability to track back, to play in the press, and to help out Canada when they're going forwards as well as backwards has been very good. And he is still developing his game at 23 years old. He still has a lot to learn. He is still growing. But he had a fantastic season in his return to the MLS with Vancouver Whitecaps. 40 appearances across all competitions, including the Canadian Championship and the CONCACAF Champions Cup, where he had 3 goals and 10 assists. A great year for Jayden Nelson in his return to North America and the MLS in Canadian football. So it was a great year for Jayden Nelson, and they are jumping on a player who had a fantastic season, is currently on the bench for Vancouver Whitecaps, but should be starting in the MLS. And paying such a small fee for a starting winger or an attacking-minded midfielder is a great piece of business for Austin FC, who are now looking for that attacking-minded midfielder, that attacking-minded winger to recover and to replace Ousmane Boukari. And truly, Jayden Nelson is a great piece and a great player to come in and replace Ousmane Boukari. Jayden Nelson has the exact skill set you would want to play in this system. Whether you play him at left midfield, he's going to have that work rate to track back as well as work forward and help in the attacking-minded third in the pitch. While also going forward, if you want to use him at right wing where Usman Bakari was typically used for Austin FC, I think he could make that transition to the right wing role as well. What he brings you on the ball is an immense ability to take on his defender 1v1 and be able to beat them, whether it's with his pace or his dribbling ability. Jayden Nelson is fantastic in 1v1 situations. He just has to start doing it more often and have that fearlessness to be able to take on the defender, to not shy away and play the pass. He needs to look at taking his man on 1v1 more often because he has that skill set, he has that dribbling and the pace to be able to put fear into the defender every time he runs at them, such as what Ali Ahmed does for Vancouver. Jayden Nelson has that same ability. And losing Jayden Nelson for Vancouver Whitecaps is a major blow. You lose an impact player off the bench, a player who can massively change things for your side, a huge piece of squad depth going into a multiple sets of competitions for Vancouver Whitecaps. So when you look at this deal, it makes sense for Jayden Nelson. It makes sense for Austin FC. Yes, Jayden Nelson doesn't go into his typical left wing position that he's played with for Vancouver Whitecaps because Austin FC, of course, have Wolf up top in that 3-4-3 system up front with Azumi. So he's going to be looked at to play at left midfield or right wing to cover for Usman Bakari. And I really think this is one of the clubs in the MLS that stylistically, that tactically will really suit Jayden Nelson. There's multiple roles where he can break into this squad and be a starter for this side and to help his stock for the 2026 World Cup. This is a side where he can break in at right midfield. If he wants to change his position, he could break it at right wing, which is probably where he will be looked to be utilized, and can start at left midfield as well. And if there's an injury to Wolf, if they want to change things up, he can start at left wing as well. So this is a transfer where you have a Canadian who's 23 years old, who wants a change, wants starting minutes, and wants a place where he can try to continue to break into the Canadian national team. It is a move that completely makes sense. He joins a playoff side, a side that has a multitude of positions and roles where he can realistically start, change his role, play quality football for a side that plays to his skill set. I don't see much of a better move here for Jayden Nelson. He has smashed this one out of the park. It's another great move by a Canadian. Yet it's not one of the more exciting moves for a Canadian footballer. He's not joining an Inter Miami. He's not joining a San Diego. But Austin FC has a fantastic following. They have a great supporter group as well as on the pitch. They consistently do well within the MLS. Yes, they didn't make it deep this year, but they still play quality football, attacking football, and are a very fun side to watch. And having so many areas where Jayden Nelson can break into this team as a regular starter, that is the key point for a Canadian leading up to the World Cup. And at 23 years old, the sky's the limit for Jayden Nelson to continue to improve his game, to continue to play quality football, and Austin FC is the right club for Jayden Nelson, for me. And I'm going to give this transfer an A-. I think it's a great move. It's an 8 out of 10 transfer. When you're looking at MLS deals, yes, you could talk about him going to Europe. That means he has to wait. He has to look at what's available. He has to try to risk it. In a World Cup year, you stay stable. You stay in a league you're comfortable with. It makes sense for Jayden Nelson. Makes sense for Austin FC, but it's a big loss for the Vancouver Whitecaps. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, guys, on Jayden Nelson joining Austin FC, because it is a very intriguing transfer for all parties involved. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like button, hit that sub button, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace.